We continue to bring you the latest on the terrorist attack in Boulder this afternoon. We know one man, an Egyptian national, Mohammed Solomon, has been arrested in connection with the attack that left 6 people hurt on the Pearl Street Mall. Those victims range in age from 67 to 88 years old and were marching in support of Israeli hostages. The FBI has called this a terrorist attack and says the man was arrested was specifically targeting this group. Boulder police were in that area for hours tonight, working to ensure that that mall is safe.
And those efforts come as the community now works to come to terms with what happened. We did talk with one person who says they march every weekend for the 58 hostages still in Gaza.
We've been marching since October 7. It's a march for the hostages, so it's just a walk. So we just want to raise awareness that there are Israeli hostages still in Gaza. We feel like our presence just keeps the awareness that this is ongoing. And so that's why we show up every week.
So joining us now is Brandon Rattiner, Senior Director of the Jewish Community Relations Council.
Brandon, we appreciate you being here. I'm curious as to what you're feeling tonight and what you're hearing from other members of the Jewish community about what they're feeling as we learn more about today's attack.
Yeah, I'm feeling sad, vulnerable, isolated, but not necessarily surprised. This is the second week in a row in the United States that there's been an attack on Jewish civilians in public spaces. This is only a week after someone who grew up in Colorado got arrested in Israel for trying to firebomb an embassy in Tel Aviv. So unfortunately, this kind of anti-Semitism and this rhetoric and this violence that we've been seeing is something that our community has been living with since October 7th.
Earlier today, we heard from the Boulder police chief who said certainly the Boulder area is not immune to these types of acts of violence. But he also said that it is a time to not be divisive. So I'm curious what your recommendation might be, knowing those emotions you're feeling, how you might recommend we be united at a time like this.
Well, I don't know if the language is about united or divided, but I think that we all need to see each other's shared humanity. The conflict that's going on in the Middle East right now is an emotional one for a lot of people. But villainizing people that have different perspectives or backgrounds than you, dehumanizing people from different perspectives and backgrounds from you, and holding Jews in America accountable for what's going on half a world away is just not going to get peace or justice or achieve any of the things that people want. These kind of senseless acts just further inflame division and make peace both here and abroad harder to achieve.
Is there a sense of fear in your community now? Because you mentioned the other attacks, and we heard from somebody in some of our reporting earlier in the newscast saying, look, fear is what they want, but I have to imagine that is part of what you guys might be feeling.
Yeah, fear and resilience. I mean, the Jewish people are a really resilient people. We've had bad experiences happen to us forever. So on one hand, I do drop off my kid at a preschool with an armed guard because that's what being Jewish in Colorado means right now. But on the other hand, I was at a synagogue tonight in Boulder celebrating the holiday of Shavuot, which is a time where people come together and eat ice cream and feel joy, and that community is still alive.
Yeah, you can't have that joy necessarily, but you're working hard to have that in spite of what has happened.
Exactly.
What would you say is a strong message for non-Jewish people?
Sure. I would say that tolerating this behavior is a choice. There's a reason that we keep seeing this happen, and it's because people are making a concerned effort to villainize American Jews and Colorado Jews and Jews all around the world for a really, really complicated, nuanced situation. So just don't fall for that trap. See each other's humanity, understand where people are coming from, get educated about the situation, and try your hardest to be in solidarity with people feeling suffering across a whole range of conflicts and emotions.
Yeah. Brandon, we greatly appreciate you being here and sharing this important insight on what happened today. Thank you.
We first brought you this story live on our streaming service, CBS News Colorado, this afternoon. We will continue to bring you updates on this story online at cbscolorado.com.